time when government, civil society and African-led initiatives have failed to bring a quick and lasting peace to the Anglophone northwest and southwest regions of the country, Cardinal Petro Parolinis in Cameroon, the head of the diplomatic wing of the Vatican City, is in the country on high instructions from Pope Francis. Top on the menu is the Anglophone crisis. That is the lone top story. Thanks for joining Equinoxe Television on our primetime newscast. Thanks for choosing to listen to news on Équinoxe Television, live from Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city, Équinoxe Central News Desk. We begin on human interest to say that 6 traffickers of domestic gas and other petroleum products have been intercepted by elements of the motorized battalion of the Gendarmerie in Boubniebe, a locality in the Sanaga Maritime Division of the littoral region of Cameroon. Inosenaze tells us more.
These 6 men are accused of siphoning domestic gas from 2 tanks in Boubniebe, Nyonkele division of the Central region. They were apprehended recently by elements of the motorized routine platoon of Boubniebe who qualify the activity as dangerous. The young men left Douala at 8:30 a.m. on January 21st. They arrived at the Boubniebe parking lot at midnight and in the process of siphoning the domestic gas, we laid hands on them.
Nous avons pris la peine de les observer et c'est quelques minutes après que nous sommes tombés à l'assaut.
By time of their arrest, they were in possession of these equipments, including fixed scale, 2 gas extractors, 150 empty gas bottles, leads, 56 half-loaded gas bottles, an axe, cutlass, and others. The scale used is fake so as to fraud or cheat consumers who often complain their gas does not last for long. A feared consequence of this criminal activity is a fire disaster that could be similar to those of Sam and Fulan, which occurred on the 14th of February 1998, claiming about 200 lives according to official statistics. An expert dealing in petroleum products said in case of an explosion, the disaster can cover 150 to 200 kilometers with enormous devastation in compliance with the wind direction. These suspects who jeopardize lives of Cameroonians, according to the uniform officials, must face the law so it serves as an example to other people who indulge in same criminal activity.
Traders of a market in Chang in the Menua division of the West region of Cameroon have taken to the streets protesting against the decision of the mayor of the Chang municipality to increase their rents. They say the decision of the mayor will have a negative impact on their economic activities. Immaculate Fogwe has the rest of the story.
Activities have been grounded for several days in this market located in Chang, West region of Cameroon. Over 80 traders stormed to the streets denouncing the mayor's decision of increasing their rents. We are really managing now. The economy has been fragilized. The coronavirus made life really difficult. Many of us had to close our stores for 4 months because of the health crisis. The mayor wants to triple our rents. It is not fair given that things are not moving. The traders later gathered in front of the council premises expressing their discontentment. The presence of the forces of law and order did not stop them from protesting. We want to see the mayor. How can he increase rents just like that? He's hiding in his office. We want to see the mayor. The traders are finally given audience by the mayor. He later explains why they had to increase rents. We noticed a lot of traders sell their stores and later start collecting rents. Can you imagine that the council collects just 3,400 francs from each trader? Some of these traders have sold their stores to other traders and they are collecting 20 to 30,000 francs as rents monthly. They claim they are the owners of the store. These shops belong to the council. That is why they all have to sign a new contract.
Toutes ces boutiques appartiennent bien à la mairie. Alors d'où vient-il que quelqu'un qui loue chez vous?
Council authorities and traders of the market are expected to hold a meeting on Monday.
The senior divisional officer for the Donga Mountain Division in the northwest region of Cameroon believes that the Anglophone crisis is a thing of the past in his area of command. That is the Donga Mountain Division. In a meeting recently with mayors coming from the 5 councils of the Donga Mountain Division, the senior administrator asked them to concentrate on reconstructing Donga Mountain Division as security is no longer a major challenge. Charles Ekome tells us more.
In the major national dialogue of October 2019,
chaired by the Senior Divisional Officer for Donga Mountain Division in the Northwest region, Simon Quenty has called on civil society leaders of the division to embark on a reconstruction, rehabilitation and transformation plan for the division this 2021. He was speaking during the 2-day capacity building workshop at the Nkambe Community Hall under the theme Organization and Functioning of Local Councils.
It is but normal that the councils accompany the government to reconstruct, to rebuild, to rehabilitate, and transform the sinister environment to regain life and vitality.
The 2-day workshop was centered on disseminating information and sensitizing the community on being proactive. A workshop which embraced the presence of mayors, councillors, council staff, development stakeholders, and civil society leaders.
More specifically, meaningful implementation will require true servant leadership on the part of all the stakeholders, starting from the elected officials of the council and the technical services involved. Meaningful impact will only be achieved through capacity implementation.
This capacity building workshop proved to be interactive, but the inhabitants of Donga Mountain Division are still expecting the implementation of a restructured community this 2021.
And on to our top story, the Secretary General of the Vatican City is in Cameroon. Cardinal Pietro Parolin is in Cameroon for 5 days. The special envoy of Pope Francis, head of the diplomatic wing of the Vatican City, and Pope Francis, who is the head of the Roman Catholic Church, was received upon arrival in Yaoundé yesterday by Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph John Guti, accompanied by the governor of the Central Region of Cameroon, Governor Nasseri Paul Biya, and the president of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon, His Lordship Bishop Abrahams Kome, the vice president of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon, who doubles as the Archbishop of the Bamenda Archdiocese, that is the Bamenda Metropolitan Archdiocese, His Grace Andonkia. The head of the diplomatic wing of the Vatican City will be in Cameroon for 5 days, meeting with the administration, the clergy and stakeholders in the country. And top on the menu is the Anglophone crisis and other issues disturbing Cameroon. Key on the visit of Pietro Parolin is a quest for a pacific and lasting solution to the crisis rogging the northwest and southwest Anglophone regions of Cameroon. He is expected to visit the conflict-hit northwest and southwest regions, which form the Bamenda Ecclesiastical Province of the Roman Catholic Church. It should be recalled that or noted that he is coming to Cameroon at a time when government, civil society and African-led initiatives have failed to bring a quick and lasting peace to the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Let's now listen to an extract of Abraham Kome. He is the National Episcopal Conference president. That is, he is the president of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon.
Anyhow, I think that the Vatican is a state, and this visit is a visit to one state to another. We are concerned because the state of Vatican is have a natural link with the Catholic Church. That is why His Eminence visit us, we discuss. But the main target, the main points will be carried up in other steps. For example, I think he will meet our president of the Republic, President Paul Biya. I cannot say what will come out, but I'm sure that is normally is good to the state who have a relationship to meet time to time to try to see how to ameliorate.
In your opening remarks, Mr. President, you made mention of the fact that you have made effort to meet the head of state for dialogue. Why that impasse?
I'm not the one to answer to this question. I said what is. I'm not able to
Concretely,
say
what
why.
efforts have you made in order to dialogue with the head of state? What efforts?
Anyhow, in our country, when we want to meet the head of state, and we think that it's normal to try to do it, because we are in the ground with people, we can feel some things. We are not going there to try to be appointed, to be nominated. It's not our task. We are very busy in what we are doing as a bishop, but since we are in the ground, maybe there are some elements that are not coming out exactly. And when we want to see him, and I said it's normal. We know in our country what we have to do it.
Mr. President,
we try to do it.
You were talking to the head of state now. What will you be telling the head of state?
You people are not the head of state.
We imagine that
no.
such a situation
when I will be we will be with him, we will tell him what we have to. No, we have to respect him. We cannot give to media the contents of our discussion. No, it's not. We cannot do it.
Yes, and you did complain about this slightly frosty relationship between the church and the state, and you cited the killing of the suspect killing of Chris. What comes to mind is the killing of Bala, and the Catholic Church promised to carry out its own independent investigation. We don't know the results. Why?
I said in French. I don't know if I will be able to say it correctly in English. This matter is in the court. And what I know is that when a matter is in the court, we have to wait. The only thing I can say is that we are waiting since 4 years, something like that. I think it's not normal, but we still have.
Abraham Kome, he is the national president of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon. He indicated that he has tried severally to meet President Paul Biya to no avail and was rather political there. And we shall be coming back to that extract in subsequent editions of News on Équinoxe Radio and Équinoxe Television. And I will talk something else, the visit of Samuel Eto'o to the northern regions of Cameroon. Samuel Eto'o, who went to the northern regions, he landed first of all in Gaoundéré, where he met with some elements of the National Defense and Security Forces, and further moved to the north and the far north regions of the country, meeting the people of the region. And Samuel Eto'o also met students and pupils of some of the schools in the northern regions of Cameroon and listened to them, got their challenges, and had an opportunity to hand over didactic materials to some of the students and pupils of schools he visited in the northern regions of Cameroon. We have little information as to what he went to do in the northern regions, but we shall be coming back to it in subsequent editions of Information on Équinoxe Radio and Television. We talk sport. The quarter-final round of the ongoing Total Chan Cameroon 2020 that will be played over the weekend. Cameroon will be facing the Democratic Republic of Congo at the Japoma Sports Complex here in the economic capital city of Cameroon. Simat Njikan Gabriel tells us more.
After 48 hours of rest, the 8 teams left at the African Nations Championship will return to the pitch this weekend with hopes of extending their stay in Cameroon. The Japoma Stadium will be the point of attraction as the Democratic Republic of Congo battle for a semi-final ticket against host nation Cameroon. It is not the first time these two countries will be playing each other at the African Nations Championship, as they have met in the group stages of the competition in Sudan 2011 and Rwanda 2016. Cameroon under Martin Tungumpile in 2016 in Rwanda defeated DR Congo by 3-1. In Sudan 2011, Cameroon defeated the Democratic Republic of Congo 2-0 in group matches. DR Congo has never beaten Cameroon at previous meetings in the African Nations Championship. It is the first time both will be meeting at the knockout stage of the competition. Cameroon and the Democratic Republic of Congo had separate fates to qualify, while Cameroon recorded 2 draws and a victory at the group stages, scoring 2, conceding 1. The Democratic Republic of Congo in 3 matches harvested 2 wins and a draw, scoring 4, conceding 2 goals. At the Ahmadou Ahidjo Stadium, Mali will be taking on Congo. Mali finished first in Group A with 7 points, picking up 2 wins and 1 draw, scoring 3 goals and conceding 1, while Congo, that started the tournament timidly with a defeat, gained hopes as they draw in their second outing and defeated Libya in their last game, finishing on the 2nd place. They scored 2 goals and conceded 2 goals. Apart from Cameroon and the Democratic Republic of Congo that have once met at the group stage of this tournament in different editions, the other teams that will be playing at the quarterfinals of the African Nations Championship Cameroon 2020 will be meeting for the first time in the tournament.
We're still on Chan Total Cameroon 2020 to say that referees invited to officiate matches or games for the tournament in Cameroon are currently having their refresher courses on the functioning of the video assistant referee, the VAR. The VAR that wasn't used at group stages of the competition will be used at the quarterfinal round of the competition on matches of the quarterfinals up to the finals. On the 7th of February 2021, video assistant referees was first used in African Nations Championship in 2018 when Morocco hosted matches of Chan 2018. Let's now listen to Jerome Damon. He is CAF instructor from South Africa.
You are in what we call the simulator for VAR, where we practice real situations in the match as if the VAR were in operation. Just over my shoulder you will see the exact setup for the VOR, the video operation room, that you will see at the stadium. It's exactly the same here in this room. The only difference is that we are now using clips from previous matches, incidents from various matches for the VAR and the referees to practice to get used to match situations. Okay, so this exercise is done just before a match and also sometimes in a few days before a match, where referees come into what is the simulator, just like a pilot would do before he flies or she flies. They'd go into a simulator to do the operation like they were flying a real Boeing 747 or whatever. The referees would go into the simulator to practice how VAR operates on match day. At the moment, the VAR system can be a bit expensive, but FIFA and the IFAB are working together to what is called the VAR Lite version, where it will become more accessible for many more federations around the world to use VAR in their competitions. Right, so what do we have?
And we check this advertorial before talking point to say that horse race betting company Paris Mutual Urbain Cameroon PMUC has recorded another multi-millionaire in the company's history. The winner cashed out a check of 118,340,300 francs CFA after having slotted the correct order of a horse race at the Makepe PMUC kiosk in the Douala 5 subdivision. The check awarding ceremony was chaired by the PMUC board chairperson and other senior staff of PMUC. Charles Équinoxe tells us more.
Paris Mutual Urbain Camerounais, PMUC, records another multi-millionaire with a check of 118,340,000 francs CFA. The winner got the correct order of a horse racing bet by slotting in at a PMUC kiosk in Makepe, Douala 5 subdivision.
We are here to celebrate the big winner in MCA of 118 million de francs CFA. He plays only 500 francs and he won more than 118 millions. It's very good for us to have this kind of player in PMUC. This confirms the expertise of PMUC in terms of earning. I'm pleased to invite everyone to play on Sunday to the Grand Prix d'Amérique. You have the chance to win 2 billion francs CFA.
This horse racing betting company made more than 500,000 people become millionaires in 2020 with Afriland First Bank.
Because our partner PMUC called us about one winner who gained 100 million and 18, and we opened the account and the money is in the account.
An ambiance atmosphere at the PMUC headquarters in Accra with sensational music artist Ave Rogers, who lit up the check awarding ceremony. Paris Mutual Urbain Camerounais is credible and flexible. Above all, it's here to make you the next millionaire.
Coming up with talking point. Thanks for joining us on Talking Points. We are receiving a political analyst and a political observer. He is called Prince. Thanks for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fome Armstrong, for inviting me.
It's the first time we're having you on set.
Yeah, truly it's the first time having me on set. It's true. I've received an invitation a couple of times, but due to one or two things, I could not be there. I just want to say a happy and good evening to all the televiewers of Équinoxe TV, and especially to those there in Tico, in Carrefour 1, in Yaoundé, and those here in Bonaberi.
Yeah, you talk about Yaoundé issue. It's important to note that you are coming in from Yaoundé, and you know the distance too is one of the things that you could not respond to our invitations promptly, and some of the times you need to negotiate and try to leave work too and manage work and time. But it wasn't an easy journey moving from Yaoundé to Cameroon, especially with the psychological
aspect of road accidents.
Yeah, of course, aspects of road accidents.
Of course, you're very right. I left from Yaoundé this morning. It wasn't really easy, especially psychologically, owing to the fact that there have been a number of road accidents that have been happening these days in Cameroon, and especially the highways. We talk about the national roads, which
number 3, Douala Yaoundé.
Yes.
We talk about number 6, Douala
Bafoussam, and the like. These accidents have been really rampant these days, which when you're traveling as a Cameroonian, you're very, very scared, because what we saw the other day that happened in the cliff in Chang, and the Chang cliff wasn't something which a normal person can watch or can easily accept, but it is something which happened due to the nature of our country and some particular things I think we should talk about, and you have been talking about.
It left nobody indifferent, but many people have been advancing different reasons what they think must have been behind the numerous accidents we are having. It's not the first one in 2018. We can talk about many and many. Just today we had an accident too. In Ombe, I had a friend who was moving to Limbe, and they came into an accident and we lost a Cameroonian there. But what do you think contributes to these recurrent accidents on our major highways?
Yeah, thank you. Not only that we spoke, but we also had another one today in Batie, around the West region, and there have been so many of these accidents on our highways, on our national roads. And I think, from my humble point of view, I think among reasons for these accidents, we have one of them is the bad nature of the roads, which I want to attribute it to the Ministry of Public Works, which actually we have a lot of road contracts out there that have been given for years and we can't see them. The Yaoundé Auto Road, Douala Yaoundé Auto Road, for 11 years we can't get them. Look at the way in which the territorial circumference in which the Chancliffe was constructed. That type of a road, I don't know how a government which is sensible enough will accept or will not put some measures, because I think that type of a road with that type of condition, with that type of stiff clip, we should be allocated to particular type of vehicle, not only wider enough, but I want to recommend that it should be allocated to some particular type of vehicles. If you want to use it just for the trucks, you use it for the trucks. If you want to use it for transportation, for buses, you use it for transportation for buses. Because I am one of the victims present here. I'm one of the victims, not the last one, but I used the road the last time when I was going to Nchang. I think that was the 2nd of July. I had a visit in Nchang, and when we were about finishing that here, I will tell you, I was on the steering, driving myself. God's grace, I escaped that accident. How I escaped, I can't explain. Because the road was too narrow in a way that a very long truck, I think one of these trucks transporting cement, coming back from the West region and was using that road, and after the head of the truck had already passed, then the back, the long, they usually ride the long vehicles, the back almost. If I was not smart enough and God's intervention, I think I would have been one of the victims that would have been recorded for that road, but thank God I will not be, and I don't wish for any other Cameroonian to be. But the nature of these roads is one of the causes. Another, it is the fact that controls, especially most of these roads, all the roads are for transportation, but now we talk about transportation, we talk about public transportation that's carrying people, because you can talk about carrying people and carrying goods. We talk about carrying the transportation of humans, people as passengers. Now, when this is supposed to happen, if the Ministry of Transport needs to take stringent measures to ensure that these people who are doing the transportation, public transportation, need to have some measures, respect some basics, at least the number of people to carry in a bus, to ensure, because we know very well the last time we had somebody was killed in one of these public transportation companies here because he wanted to ease himself. Now look at things like that. Now overloading is another one, overspeeding is another one. The bad nature of their the cars. Now, when you're applying some of these roads, you realize that when you look at a vehicle is transport, who is doing public transportation, look at the nature of the tires, you look at the nature of the seats,
the mechanical state of the vehicles.
Are not the best. But when they pass by the road, they meet these people who have been put there by the government in place. Either they are road control safeties or they are gendarmerie officers or police officers to control and make sure that these people meet to the norms and standards of which they are supposed to ply the roads. But what do they do there? Of course, it's not a strange thing to Cameroonians. Most of them sit there, especially those who we know, the people of the umbrella people who they always sit beside the umbrella, and you come and just give them their 2 or 3K and you move. That is what is happening. But the question I ask myself is, these same people who even collect the 2 and 3Ks along the road.
Is that what you do?
What about your family member who is inside that car? Have you ever thought about it? We should also have to.
You are raising a couple of problems there, and we will understand that it's a shared responsibility of alluding to, in as much as people who are on the road controlling should control. It's also our responsibility to avoid overloading passengers, drivers, and all of that. Now, I want to come back.
We want to add that it's also the responsibility for the individual, because most at times we want to only attribute it all to the government. It's true we have a dilapidating government, we have a government who is crawling, a government who is difficult to find their way forward, it's difficult to apply the rules that they put forward. But as an individual, you have to understand your life is very important to you and your family. So if you are in one of these buses, you have to ensure that if the driver is stopping to pick someone by the road, to increase the number of persons that are supposed to be in the bus, you also have to be conscious enough. And I believe there are most of these buses have numbers that have been written on them that in case of any problem around the road, you should call, and people should take that serious, because it's our lives that we're talking about.
Yes, one of the points you raised that I found interesting is the fact that they could make a that is regulate, control, allow certain vehicles to ply the Chancliffe, for example, and ask others to use an alternative road. If you are going to the West Region, for example, people can choose to use the road through Bafang and get through Bafusam and others. But now there is this option of getting a double carriage. Is it possible to have a double carriage on the Chancliffe, for example?
That road, when we look at it, right, it is not it's not a matter of option of a double carriage. It is not only about because today we're just talking about the Chancliffe. There are other roads. The Douala Yaoundé road, it doesn't have any cliff. It doesn't have any stiff hill like that. But we saw accidents recurring.
The road is narrow too, some will say, and there's a project already. It's a double carriage Douala Yaoundé.
The auto road you're talking about, for 11 years that we haven't seen it. And we are, I don't know if it's after emergency 2045, because I don't see 2035. I don't know if it's after 2045 that we're going to see the road. Besides, the budget for the road has been increased, so we don't know if they will have to finish it. No, but the problem with this road is it's not about doubling the roads. It's not only about getting to regulate the roads, but we also have to understand the policy and mechanisms that are put in place in order to use the roads.
And we too must respect drivers, passengers, and everyone, and especially those controlling the roads. They should be able to check vehicles correctly and before they let them go. Now we have to proceed. Not got the whole day on the problems on our highways. We have a couple of problems, and one of the burning issues in Cameroon is the Anglophone crisis. And now we announced the visit or the presence in Cameroon of Cardinal Petro Parolin. He is the Secretary General of the Vatican City. He's in Cameroon, a special envoy of Pope Francis, and many are looking up to him as somebody who could be bringing a magic or a miraculous solution to the Anglophone crisis. Do you see that possibility?
No. When you talk about magic, it's true, magic is something which is uncertain.
I said a magic or a miraculous solution.
Yes, magic and miracle are the same thing, you understand. And these are things which are very uncertain. With the Anglophone crisis, we don't need to be talking about things, uncertain things. No, we aren't at that level anymore. You have to understand, this is a crisis that has been ravaging Cameroon for 4 to 5 years moving on now. And we understand the Catholic Church has a very big role to play when we talk about the Anglophone crisis. Remember, the Church has played, the Catholic Church in particular has played a very big role, and the Catholic Church in particular has been around the forefront not that it's the people among those who are causing the problem or are fueling the problem, but that those who have witnessed the crisis.
Exactly why people believe that he could be coming with a solution.
No, we will come to that level, okay? Let me come. Now, they have been, the Catholic Church employs, okay, most of Anglophone Cameroonians who are living back in the north and southwest were teachers and other things around the Catholic Church, the students and the like. So the Catholic Church understand what is happening. It is true they have the faith, because we've seen Archbishop Kleda, Cardinal Tumi has been in the forefront of all this. We saw the Bishop in Bamenda, the Bishop in the southwest, have been holding a whole lot of conferences to resolve.
Other clergy too, other men and women of God, some from other denominations.
Yes, the problem is, do they have the capability to pursue the powers, to influence the powers that be to actually solve the crisis? That is where I totally disagree with you. They don't have. Remember the president of the National Episcopal Council who just spoke that he has been looking for a means to meet the president of the republic to no avail on several occasions. Now, this crisis has been going on for as long as possible, and we have someone who is the head of state, who is the one who Cameroonians elected in 2018, and he put forward a government where we'll have a head of government, the prime minister. Now, the head of state is being giving information about what is happening, and because he was being told about the Anglophone crisis, how dangerous it had become, he declared war against the Anglophones, or the secessionists, like he said, against the terrorists. Therefore, he left, and after he saw that that measure was not the best, he organized a major national dialogue, which therefore means, I will not want to cite all of them. This is a way to tell you that the President of the Republic is the one who can take a lasting solution to this. But if
something must push him to take the lasting solution,
something must push him, right? And if you're telling me that maybe this one who has come, the envoy from the Pope, can push him, but I ask you, who is going to lead this envoy from the Pope to the President? Of course, we have the cardinals, because he is not coming here as an autonomous being. The Vatican is an autonomous, it's a city, it's a state on its own. But when Catholic Church is being domesticated in Cameroon, it is not a state on its own. It is under the state of Cameroon. You understand? So we have Catholic authorities, the authorities of Catholic Church in Cameroon, like the President of the National Episcopal Council, the Christian Cardinal Tumi, Kleda, and the like, and so many of them. But if these people who have the power and master what is happening have decided, have tried with everything within that strength to talk to the person who has the power to resolve this crisis, and they cannot, then who do you think will be able to push it forward?
Prince Will, this is where Cameroonians place the personality of Cardinal Petro Parolin. He is the Secretary of State of the Vatican City. Yeah. He is coming to Cameroon as a personal representative or special envoy of Pope Francis. We know Pope Francis, if we want to put aside his position as the head of the Roman Catholic Church, and I'm looking at him as the head of the State of Vatican. He's had an audience with President Pobia in the course of the Anglophone crisis, though very little filtered out of the audience he had with the president. At least the relationship that President Pobia has had with he is first of all a Catholic Christian, has had with popes and the Catholics, at least, even though not those in Cameroon, but the Pope gives people reasons that the man coming to Cameroon might just be carrying a message from the Pope that will cause the president, whom you believe that has the power to end the crisis, to yield to and provide the needed solutions.
Look, there are some things that usually get Cameroonians crazy. It's true, I'm here talking as an analyst, as an observer. But to be honest,
we ask you the questions.
If you pick any Cameroonian around the street, just out there and ask him, he might slap you for asking that type of question. Why? Because we are doing what is called window dressing. We are leaving the right problem and chasing different problems. You understand? Why do I say so? When the incident in Kumba happened, the school children who were being shot, what happened? The Pope sent a letter to the President of the Republic. Some few weeks ago, I think last week, the members of the National Episcopal Council and other people conference, and they held a meeting in the West region, sending recommendations to the President of the Republic. Where has it led to? Let's forget about the Pope. Other people who have powers have been here in Cameroon. We have the Secretary General of the Commonwealth was here. You have La Francophonie was here. You have other people who have been here. What has it healed us to? It's true, we are praying that these things should heal us something good. But the thing at this level is all these things that are doing that we don't just what they need to do, which must be addressed. I think the powers that be must understand is that we need a serious and genuine solution, which must include, it must include the form of state to be talked about. Why I may go forward to why I disclaim all these things.
Just run it. We
have two parties in contention, the state and the separatists. Now the separatists have a grip back there in the northwest and the southwest. Now we've announced that this person is coming in from the Vatican in order to try to talk things about two people, not one person, about the separatists, to talk maybe to the separatists and to the government, or try to see how we can arrange something. Now the separatists have already proclaimed a lockdown, and we saw so many streets in Bamenda deserted today. Who does he want to talk to? Is it the right measure? Because you are coming and are declaring a lockdown, and we are seeing it visible, the ghost towns are still holding. Then what are you telling us?
In essence, you are saying that they are not ready for a solution that could be coming from the Pope.
They are coming with a good mind to help solve Cameroonian problem. But the problem is with the Cameroonian authorities. The Cameroonian authorities must accept that there is a problem, and that problem is still persisting, because we have a minister who is the Minister of Territorial Administration who said that they have quashed. The President of the Republic has quashed. There is no longer any problem. The boys in the bushes all have been killed by the brilliant military people and the like. But we are seeing that this is not what is happening on the ground.
Thank you very much.
They must take and accept the real problem and take decisions that will have to solve this problem. If not so, we will have even Jesus Christ may come here and go back without us having any problem, or Satan may come too and go back with any problem. But as it stands, they must take those decisions, and I think the primordial and the most important among that decision is the form of state, which must be touched.
Kotem Prince Real, he is a political analyst and a political observer. Thanks for being with us. It was interesting having you.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your keen attention. Stay in the company of programs on Équinoxe Television. Have a nice